Sometimes after removing the gel, the natural nail underneath is almost entirely curled into a tube. And the client asks to work on their natural nails, so now we'll have to fix things. But first, let's take a base coat. The base needs to be reliable, so I took the rubber one from Emin. This is a universal base that works both as a base layer and for short nails. You can slightly build up the structure, but just a little. Well, the main character will be the gel. Now is the perfect time to leave a comment about these unusual shades. Alyona, you choose. I really love these colors. And by the way, it's not just me. Zhenya also really loves this shade. This is probably pretty much her favorite color. I consider it to be turquoise or sea green. But the most important thing is that the consistency of the gel allows me to rebuild the missing structure freehand, more precisely the side walls. This is the first drop that I applied, cured, and now I'm gently pinching it. If after curing and building up like this you realize that the volume isn't enough, you can just as easily add another bead freehand, right on top of this same gel. Here I already took a thin brush and built up the missing volume. I cured it again, and now I'm using the gel brush to go over the entire perimeter of our nail plate. I'm creating a wet base, or the foundation on which everything will spread. Next, we place a drop. You definitely need to swirl it like I'm showing. At this moment we're warming up the gel. And after that it will spread very smoothly. But here, honestly, this is probably my favorite part because I find applying the gel to be a very meditative activity. Honestly, I could do this endlessly. Sometimes I catch myself just zoning out while applying the gel coating. But of course you shouldn't spend too much time on this because you can waste a lot of time admiring the shades and so on. So we cured it, pinched it, and now we have these little dumpling-like semi-finished nails. Next, we remove all the tacky layer and it's time to start filing. But first, let's peel off anything that might have stuck to the skin. This detail is important to prevent injuring the client with the nail file. Although personally I use safe nail files, they never cut my clients. I file in the standard way, square, one parallel side, then the other parallel side. And on top, I go over it lightly, usually on the lower third or half of the nail plate, because near the cuticle there's absolutely no need to file. The file is 180 grit and definitely foam backed. These are my absolute favorite files for shaping because it's uncomfortable to file with a hard file. And now, the sideline. Look, this part needs to be removed, and it's important not to lift it up or take it off completely. That's why you need to file little by little, checking it from time to time. Once I'm happy with everything, I can move on to the design. I've finished filing here, the nail is ready. Now we take two colors, white and this kind of purple with fine shimmer. Next comes the agony of choice and searching for the right brush. I always lose the exact brush I need in this cup. I finally found it. My brush is made of natural bristles, and I took white gel polish, slightly diluted with top coat. This is needed so that I get a semi-transparent effect. I cured it and then added a more opaque white. Well, some of you have probably already guessed. If you haven't figured it out yet, we're painting clouds. Yes, clouds like these on a turquoise background. We thought it was something like dawn, somewhere around there. Before sunrise, clouds can have these kinds of shades. We add a bit of that purple I showed at the beginning. And just a little bit of white, just for some dimension. It's super simple. And you don't need to finish art school to paint it. I sharpened the orange wood stick and I'm putting dots from which will later become the pre-dawn stars. That is, those very last ones right before morning comes. And actually drawing them isn't that hard. The main thing is to have a thin brush like mine. Then just use this thin brush to pull out the little rays. The only issue is that on camera, results aren't always as expected. Still, this design creates a great impression. Now I'm moving on to applying the top coat. Here I have the anti-vandal top coat with my favorite clear-handled brush. And very soon I'll show you our final result. I'm just applying the top coat, not leveling it. And here are our nails with clouds in this light, pleasant starry sky, all done. A quick, simple hookah manicure. You can do it in about an hour and 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the nails.